Greetings to all. Welcome to Future of this Academy. Today we are going to see the daily current affairs of September 3. So today we are going to discuss the topics of next generation sequencing to map genetic blueprint of indigenous cattle. So which comes under GS 3 Science and Technology. Next hectic negotiations on for control of house panels which comes under GS2 Indian polity. Next use of regional language in High Court remains limited which comes under same GS2 Indian polity. Next, what is unified lending interference by RBI? So, which we have to know under prelims perspective. Next, Tanjavur Veena, and finally, we will be seeing the editorial analysis. Our first topic is about next generation sequencing to map genetic blueprint of indigenous cattle. So, why it is in news? The National Institute of Animal Biotechnology, that is NIAB, focuses on conserving indigenous cattle breeds using advanced genetic technologies and developing vaccines to combat livestock diseases. Under the DPT's Bio E3 policy, NIAB promotes biomanufacturing and innovations in livestock health, diagnostics, biomolecules, and alternative proteins for a sustainable economy. So, we have to know about the next generation sequencing. The next generation sequencing is an advanced DNA sequencing technology that enables a rapid and a high throughput analysis of genetic material. It allows simultaneously sequencing of millions of DNA fragments, providing detailed insight into genomes, transcriptomes, and epigenomes. NGS is widely used in genomics research, clinical diagnostics, and biodiversity studies, offering faster, more cost effective, and precise genetic data compared to traditional sequencing method. The goal is to establish molecular signature for registered cattle breeds for identification and conservation. NIAB is developing next generation vaccine platforms for livestock classes diseases like brucellosis, crucial for animal health and reducing economic losses. The Institute under Department of Biotechnology aligns its efforts with Bio-E3 policy to promote biomanufacturing. NIAB aims to support biotech startups in transforming the livestock-based economy through vaccines, diagnostics, and biomolecules. Six thematic verticals under Bio-E3 policy focuses on circular bio-based economy, including alternative proteins. So with this, we have UPSC prelims question which have been asked in 2020. Consider the following statement. Genetic changes can be introduced in cells that produce egg or sperm of prospective parent. A person's genomes can be edited before birth at early embryonic stage. Human-induced pluripotent stem cells can be injected into the embryo of a pig. Which of the statement given above are correct? So here option is D is correct. So all the three statements are the correct statement. Our next topic is hectic negotiations on for control of house panels. So why it is in news? The constitution of Parliamentary Standing Committee for the 18th Lok Sabha is delayed due to disagreements between the government and the opposition. The contentious committees include external affairs, finance, and defense. These differences have resulted in political deadlock. So we have to know about Parliamentary Standing Committee. Parliamentary standing committees are permanent committees in the Indian Parliament constituted to examine bills, budgets, and policies of various ministries and departments. There are 24 department related parliamentary standing committees, 16 under the Lok Sabha and 8 under the Rajya Sabha. So 16 under Lok Sabha, 18 under Rajya Sabha. The committees play a crucial role in scrutinizing government work, providing expert opinions, and ensuring detailed legislative analysis. Members include MPs from both houses with a proportional representation of parties. Their recommendations, though not binding, help shape parliamentary debates and decisions by allowing more detailed discussions on complex issues than in full parliamentary session. Next, the significance of parliamentary standing committee. In-depth scrutiny, provide detailed analysis of bills, budget and policies, non-partisan discussions, foster consensus building across party lines, expert inputs, involve expert witness for specialized knowledge, accountability that is enhanced government accountability through questioning, Next, the efficiency, reduce parliament workload by examining issues in smaller group. Next, the transparency, facilitate greater transparency in legislative process. And finally, the legislative quality, to improve the quality of legislation through recommendation. Now, what are the challenges here? The first thing is political influence. Committees may face political pressure, reducing their independence. Next, the limited time. Tight schedules often restrict through examination of bills and policies. First thing is political influence. Next, limited time. Third, non-binding recommendations. So in non-binding recommendations, government not obligated to implement committee suggestions. Next is lack of expertise. So some committees members may lack domain-specific knowledge affecting quality. Next, the delayed constitution. Delay in forming committees can hinder legislative oversight and scrutiny. And finally, the resource constraints. So these are all the challenges seen in this. So with this, we have UPSC mains question which have been asked in 2023. Examine the structure of the parliamentary committee system. How far have the financial committees helped with the institutionalization of the Indian parliament? So you can practice on this question. So our next topic is about use of regional languages in High Court remains limited. So why it is in news? There is a growing movement to use regional language in High Court proceedings to make justice more accessible. Despite constitutional provisions allowing this, its implementation remains limited due to concerns about language proficiency among judges and lawyers. Now, what are the uses of regional languages in High Court? First, the current status. So only for high courts, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar are permitted to use Hindi in their proceedings, while English remains the official language in all high courts. So next is constitutional provisions. So under Article 348, Class 1 of the Constitution mandates English for Supreme Court and High Court proceedings unless Parliament decides otherwise. Next, Article 348, Class 2 says allows state governments to authorize regional languages in state high courts with the presidential consent. Next, the recent decisions. So Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachand highlighted the need for regional language in legal proceedings to make the justice system more accessible to common citizens. Next, the proposals are Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal and Karnataka have proposed using regional language in high courts. These proposals were reviewed but not accepted by the Chief Justice of India in 2012. Now, what are the challenges faced here? Language proficiency, first of all. Language proficiency. Judges and lawyers may lack proficiency in regional languages, leading to communication difficulties and inefficiency in court proceedings. Next, uniformity issues. So ensuring consistent legal terminology and standard across different languages can be complex potential, affecting the quality of justice. Next, training requirements. So judges and legal professionals need extensive training to become proficient in regional language, while it may be time consuming and costly. The next is resource constraints. Resource constraints. Developing and maintaining legal resources such as case law and statutes in multiple languages requires significant investment. Legal documentation. Next is so translating legal documents and maintaining accurate records in various languages can be challenging, may lead to errors. Next, resistance to change. There may be resistance from legal community accustomed to English, leading to delays and disputes. Next, the implementation issues. So coordinating and implementing language changes across different high courts involves logistical complexities and administrative hurdles. So with this, we have the UPSC prelims question which have been asked in 2021. Explain regarding the Indian judiciary. Consider the following statement. Any retired judge of Supreme Court of India can be called back to sit and act as the Supreme Court judge of Chief Justice of India with the prior permission of President of India. A High Court in India has power to review its judgment as the Supreme Court does. Which of the statement given above is correct? So here the answer is C. Both the statement are correct. Our next topic is what is Unified Lending Interference by RBI? So first of all, we have to know about the news. Similar to Unified Payment Interference, which has revolutionized the retail payment system in the country, ULI will transform the lending landscape. So we have to know about the background in which the idea of unified lending interface have been developed. With the rapid progress in digitalization, India has embraced the concept of digital public infrastructure, which encourages banks, NBFCs, fintech companies, and startups to provide innovative solutions in payments, credits, and other financial activities. For digital credit delivery, the data required to credit appraisal are available with different entities like central and state governments, account aggregators, banks, credit information companies, and digital identity authorities. As these data sets are in separate systems, it creates hindrance in frictionless and timely delivery of rule-based lending. A pilot project of digitalization of Kishan credit loans of less than 1.6 lakh began in 2022. The initial results of KCC pilot were encouraging as it enabled doorstep disbursement of loans without any paperwork. In 2023, the RBI has announced the setting for a public tech platform for frictionless credit, which is now branded as the ULI. Now, what is Unified Lending Interference? The ULI platform will facilitate a seamless and consent-based flow of digital information, including land records of various states from multiple data service providers to the lenders. Now, what are their objectives? It will count down the time taken for the credit appraisal, especially for smaller and rural borrowers. It is aimed to bring about efficiency in the lending process in terms of reduction of cost, quicker disbursement, and scalability. Now they are working. So the ULI architect has common and standardized APIs, that is application programming interface, designed for a plug and play approach to ensure digital access to information from diverse sources. For instance, taking the example of dairy farmers seeking a loan, the lender can find data from the milk cooperative to know about cash flows, land ownership status from land records of states, and insights into its financial condition through farming patterns. Thus, with the help of ULI, the lenders can immediately know the income of the loan applicant and credit eligibility. Thus, decision making would be automated and loans could be sanctioned and disbursed within the minutes. Now, what are the significance here? The platform will reduce the complexity of multiple technical integrations by distancing access of customers' financial and non-financial data that otherwise resided in disparate silos. It is expected to cater to larger unmet demand for credit access various sectors, particularly for agriculture and MSME borrowers. The new trinity of JAM, UPI, ULI, JAM, UPI, ULI will be a revolutionary step forward in India's digital infrastructure journey. JAM stands for Jandan, Aadhaar and Mobile Trinity is a tool used by the government to transfer cash benefits directly to the bank account to the beneficiary. So with this, we have the UPSC prelims question which have been asked in 2015. Pradhan Mantri Jandan Yojana has been launched for 2015. So here the option answer is C, promoting financial inclusion in the country. So our next topic is about Tanjavur Veena. So Tanjavur, Tamil Nadu is renowned for making the veena the first musical instrument in India to receive a geographical indication GI tag. So we have to know about Tanjavur Veena. Its type is Saraswati Veena, a classical stringed musical instrument. So it received a GI tag in 2012. What are the crafting materials for it? Jackfruit wood, known as for its resonance and tonal quality. Their production process is wood is cut, carved, shaped, and assembled. Takes 15 to 20 days to complete. Involves three parts, that is Resonator, that is kudam. Next, neck, that is dandi. And finally the tuning box. What are the other types of veena seen here? Saraswati veena, which is used for Carnatic classical music. Next, Rudra veena and Vichitra veena, used for Hindustani classical music. Next, Chitra veena, used in Carnatic classical music. So with this, we have the UPSC prelims question which have been asked in 2021. With reference to India, the terms Halbi Ho Kuki pertain to, the answer is the tribal languages. So with this, we'll be seeing the editorial analysis. Our editorial analysis topic is the Disaster Management Amendment Bill in Noting. So between 2008 to 2010, India played a crucial role in fostering democracy in its neighborhood. However, by 2024, political upheavals in countries like Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Maldives, and Myanmar have challenged India's regional influence, promoting the need for sustained engagement and recalibration of its diplomatic strategies. Now, what is the key details about the bill here? They are complicated chain of action. The proposed bill further provides statutory status to pre-act organizations such as National Crisis Management Committee and a high-level committee, leading to confusion in a case of disasters. Next, giving planning powers, strengthen the working of National Disaster Management Authority and state disaster management authorities to prepare state national level plans. Next, creation of authorities. It also establishes an urban disaster management authority for state capitals and cities with municipal corporations. Now, what are the centralization of as a concern? The intended decentralization of functions without the necessary financial devolution creates more problems than it solves. The thing is, has the wordings in the bill, centralizing tendencies, absence of disaster severity coding, denial of funds, core concern, restricted definition of disaster, need for expanding the scope of notified disasters, and the heat wave scenario. Also, the concerns with the inclusion of heat wave as a disaster. Also, the classification of heat waves, concerns with the definition of heat wave in Act. Also, the conflict with old definition of disaster. Now, what are the restricted definition of disaster? On July 25th, 2024, the government stated that heat waves would not be classified as notified disaster under the Disaster Management Act 2005. The notified list of disasters includes traditional natural disasters like cyclones, earthquakes, and floods, but excludes climate-induced disasters like heat waves. This stands in contrast to global concerns where the heat waves are recognized as climate-related disasters. So with this, we have to know about notified disaster. In India, the Disaster Management Act 2005 defined as the disaster as catastrophe, mishap, calamity, or grave occurrence arising from natural or man-made causes that result in sustainable loss of life, destruction of property, or damage to the environment. Currently, 12 disasters are classified as notified disaster, namely cyclone, drought, earthquake, fire, flood, tsunami, hailstorm, landslide, avalanche, cloudburst, pest attack, and frost and cold wave. Presently, the notified list of disasters eligible for Natural Disaster Response Fund or State Disaster Response Fund assistance. So, with this, we have to know about National Disaster Management Authority. The National Disaster Management Authority, that is NDMA, plays a crucial role in laying down policies, plans, and guidelines for disaster management in India. It aims to promote a national resolve to mitigate the damage and destruction caused by natural man-made disasters through sustained and collective efforts. So that's all from our editorial analysis. With this, today's news is completed. To read this document, you can visit our website. Our website link have been provided in the description. To get more daily current affairs videos, follow our YouTube channel, also our Telegram channel. Thank you.